Welcome back to FSI MMA Preview Show. I am G and I'm here with Big Lou. So let's talk a little bit about last week's fight card. Strike versus Gain. I don't know. We're gonna cut it very short because that was a very boring fight. Gain didn't show me anything to be a contender, to be supposedly one of the top guys. He didn't show me anything. And Strike did the same thing. Another boring fight in the heavyweight, so it wasn't even worth it. I don't know. You got anything on that fight?
Oh my God. Listen, man. If I wanted to see a dance, I'd go to a club, man. Let me tell you, Gain, that was his time to shine right there and let the heavyweights know that he means business. And he just stayed at a distance, man. He didn't really bring the show. I thought that he was gonna really take it to Rosenstruck and just come after him, and attack him, but it just didn't happen. I was disappointed, very disappointed. But well, nevertheless, there was a win for Gain, and he moves up in the division. And Rosenstruck, I don't know, he's got to go back to the drawing board and figure something out after losing to Ngannou, now Gain. It's just he's gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, it was I don't know. It was very disappointing. It had me up all night just waiting for this fight to just fall asleep while watching it. But things happen. All right, so let's start breaking down this UFC 259 because this 15 card fight, it's a big card.
Yeah.
Very stacked. 3 championship belts on the line for the main card. And it's very interesting, and hopefully that nobody falls off by tomorrow. If it's not, we're gonna have a long night with a lot of fights.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 15 fights. I mean, we're gonna probably see the main event 3:00 in the morning if they all go the distance.
Yeah, definitely. So the 3 title fights involving Amanda Nunez and Megan Anderson. They got Peter Young and Adeline Sterling, and the main event is Jon Blachowicz and Israel Adesanya, which is gonna be an interesting fight. 2 champs fighting for the belt.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of Izzy fans out there, man. Think that he's let's see if he can pull it off, and let's see if Jon can shock the world, man. Let's see.
Yep. So let's start breaking this fight down because I said we have a lot of fights. So let's go with first fight of the night was gonna be Mario Batista versus Trevin Jones.
Yeah.
Trevin Jones comes in at a plus 200 underdog, and Batista comes in at a minus 220 favorite. Both fighters coming in Batista is a striker and a BJJ grappler, and Jones is a striker and a wrestler. Batista comes in with an 8-1 record, and that loss was by a sub. Jones comes in with a 12-6 record. He got 6 losses, 5 by decision or 1 by sub. You have Mario Batista's last fight. He fought Miles Jones. He got a TKO in the second round, and that was February 2020. And then the prior from that was in July 19, 2019, when he won a decision was against Jin Ho Sun. It's okay. I don't like the fact that he only fought 1 time last year, but I'll probably give him a try. Jones comes in with last fight August 21st, 2020, with a KO win in the second round for Timor Valley. And before that, he fought, that was his first UFC match in 2020. And then he fought in deep 89 Impact, won by submission in the second round. My initial pick for this most likely is going to be Mario Batista. I think he has a little bit more strike volume. It looks like he wants him. He looked good in the weigh-ins. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, Mario definitely looks pretty good with that mullet and the way it's he's one thing to watch out for him is just the flying knee, man. He killed his he kills with that flying knee. Freestyle fighter, man, just he gets you on the ground, man. Forget it. He's gonna ground and pound you. Trevin Jones, though, man, that guy, he's like he should be fighting at 145, man, 155. That guy is huge. He is huge, man. But nevertheless, he's also, if he gets you down to the ground, he's gonna ground and pound you. He's definitely constantly working the takedown. I I'm going with the underdog here, man. I'm going with Trevin Jones, man. Just for that size and just because he uh he looks to be very promising.
All right, so a couple of stats on Trevin Jones. His last four against Timor Valley, he Jones threw 26 strikes and had one takedown, but he absorbed about 66 strikes and a pretty much it says here is a no contest, so I guess it was overturned.
Mm.
So, but that's the only fight he had in the UFC. And then Mario Batista comes in against Miles Jones. He landed 18 strikes and took about 13. That was a KO win. And then we had the fight prior to that when he fought Jin So Young. Mario Batista threw 129 strikes and absorbed 95 with 2 takedowns, and he won that fight by unanimous decision. So I like the volume on Mario a little bit, but yeah, my initial pick is gonna be Mario.
Okay, Mario better watch out for the big guy.
We will see at the fights. All right, so we got our next fight will be Hyland Cruz versus Euro Medic. This is going to be a pretty interesting fight. Medic comes in at a minus 165. Cruz comes in at a plus 155. Underdog. Medic comes in as a striker, BJJ grappler, and Cruz comes out as a striker. And Medic comes in at a 6-0 record, has not lost yet. Cruz comes in at an 8-3. And 3 losses were one by KO and 2 by subs. Medic comes in with his Contender Series fight against Mikey Gonzalez, knocked him out in the first round. And then before that, he fought Alonzo Linsmo Jr. with another knockout in the first round. You have Hyland Cruz. His last fight was to Spike Carlisle, and he got knocked out in the first round. You know, Spike is no slouch anyway, but you know, it's Spike Carlisle. I think that was his debut as well. And before that, he fought in the Contender Series against Steven Nuganen, and he won by a flying knee in the third round. My pick for this, I don't know. I'm leaning more Medic. I like him a little bit more. You know, 6-0. I know. You know he hasn't shown us too much, but I'm going with him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a buzz going on about him, man. He seems to have everybody favoring him. But my thing is like on Alan Cruz, his reach is like it's like crazy. I mean, it's like, let's see here. He's got a 78-inch reach, and Medic has a 71-inch reach. So I mean, if he gets that jab working, he's another guy too that has an awesome flying knee. We're gonna have. I mean, this is gonna be an exciting fight. Just, I mean, I got to go with Medic as there's no knockout here. That's for sure. There's gonna. I got to go with Medic decision.
All right. So a few stats on Cruz. So Cruz last fight against Spike Carlisle. Cruz landed 2 punches, 2 strikes, and he took 20, and he got knocked down the first round. The fight before that in the Contender Series, Cruz landed 132 strikes, and took 92, and he won by a flying knee. Now you have Medic come in, and his last fight was against Mikey Gonzalez. He landed 32 and took 2 strikes with a first round knockout. So for me, like I said, I'll go with Medic. As a DraftKings play, don't really like it. I think for me, this might go the distance. It might go all 3 rounds. Maybe these 2 guys gonna try to square off in the ring. But I think once they start getting a couple of shots in, they're probably gonna try to take each other to the ground and pound and just pretty much hug each other. I don't see the volume being so high. But yeah, my initial pick is gonna be Medic.
Yeah, I totally agree. Plus, Cruz had to put on weight for this fight. That was one of the things that people were concerned about too. Coming up in weight, so he wouldn't have to fight that that weight cut. But yeah, I agree.
All right, so our next fight is gonna be a women's fight. It's gonna be Olivia Sosa versus Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos comes in at a minus 215 favorite. Sosa comes in at a plus 197 underdog. Sosa comes in as a very well-rounded fighter. Lemos comes in as a striker. Souza has a black belt in BJJ. She also has a black belt in judo, which is pretty good. Pretty good technique that she has. So Souza comes in at a 14-2, 2 losses by decision. Lemos comes in at a 8-1-1. So she has 1 loss by KO, and then the other one, it's got to be a no contest. Souza's last fight, she fought against Ashley Yoder, which she just fought. She was gonna fight last card, but
Angela Hill.
Yeah, Corona took that out. But she fought August 14, 2020, and Yoda won that fight by decision. Like I said, Yoda, she's okay. She's not the best fighter, but she hangs in there. Prior to that, she fought Brianna Van Buren, and she lost that fight by decision. Then you have Amanda Lemos comes in, and her last fight, she fought Mizuki Inarhao. I messed up her name, but she won that fight by decision. And then the fight before that, she fought Miranda Granger, and she won that by submission in the first round. For me, this is gonna be a very scrappy fight for these 2 females. But my lean is gonna go for Lemos. What you think?
And this is definitely going to be an exciting fight. Souza, man, she just looks mean, man. She looks mean. Giving her, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt and her judo black belt, man. For me, me, I love the underdogs, man. I'm looking to help my DraftKings parlay, build it up. Lemos, she's a grinder. She's gonna, try to take it down to the ground. But I'm gonna go with Souza.
All right. So a couple stats on Souza. Her last fight against Ashley Yoder, she threw out 46 strikes with 1 takedown and absorbed 32. And the fight before that against Brianna Van Buren, she threw 23 strikes and absorbed 72. For Amanda Lemos, her last fight against Mizuki, she landed 83 and took her down twice. And then she absorbed about 57. Where Miranda Granger, it was a first round sub. So she hit her with 8 strikes, 1 takedown, and she only absorbed 4. Well, we're probably gonna disagree with this one, but you know what? I'm going Amanda Lemos, and I think she's probably gonna. This probably gonna go all 3 rounds. If not, I'll take Amanda to knock her out in a second. All right, so go. What you think?
I disagree on that. I don't see no knockout in this fight at all.
So
it's going the distance.
Let's see. Two mean girls.
I'm sticking with Sosa.
All right. So let's go to Sean Brady against Jake Matthews. This is the prior fight coming in. We have Sean Brady coming in as a -250 favorite against Matthews, a +195 underdog. Brady is a wrestler, striker. Matthews is a striker. Matthew comes in with a brown belt and BJJ. Brady comes in with a 13-0 record, has not lost. And Matthew comes in at 17-4. Matthew has lost by 1 by KO, 2 by subs. Sean Brady's last fight, he fought Christian Aguilera and submitted him in the second round. And then Ishmael Nadarev, he won that by decision. And this was both in 2020. So he's been very active in 2020. Jake Matthews' last fight was against the only one, Diego Sanchez. And he went all 3 rounds with Diego, And I don't know. With Diego Sanchez, I know Diego's a GOAT and he's been in the game so long, but Diego is pretty much done. And I know he has heart of a lion and his chin is there, but I think that Matthew should have took him out maybe very early. He was a 750 favorite and he beat him by decision. That's crazy. But before that, he also fought Emil Meek and he won that by decision. My initial pick for this is going to be Sean Brady. I think Sean Brady might knock this guy out in the second round.
You know what? I totally agree. I thought Jake Matthews was really going to bring it to Sanchez and just be able to finish him, but it didn't look that way at all. I mean, he had him leaking in the second round, but he just didn't finish him off. He just didn't. I don't know. It just something happened there where he just couldn't get the job done. But Sean Brady, man, you better sit in your seat. Don't go to the bathroom. And I'm telling you, man, don't blink because this fight, I mean, somebody's getting knocked out. Let's just say that. I'm going with Sean Brady.
Yeah, so some stats here. For Brady against Christian, Brady landed 34 strikes with 2 takedowns and absorbed 16, and he beat him by guillotine choke in the second round. The fight prior to that, he threw 47 and he had 4 takedowns and he received 37. So the takedown game is pretty good for Brady. I'm looking at in the last 2 fights he had 6 takedowns, and that's pretty good, especially for DraftKings. He's gonna try to take him down. It could be a first round submission or it could be a first round knockout. For Jake Matthews, when he fought Diego Sanchez, Matthews landed 72 strikes and 1 takedown, and Diego landed 25, and he couldn't take Diego out. Against Meek, Matthew landed 33 and absorbed 50, but Matthew had 4 takedowns in that match. But I don't know. Brady looks like he's gonna take this. And sometimes, if you bet on Fanduel or DraftKings, I know definitely in DraftKings there is a bet there that you can pick a fighter to win by either submission, KO, or DQ. And I think this match right here, you could put some money on Sean Matthew, and I don't know what's going to be the odds for that, but just look out for that. Look at DraftKings for that odd.
Definitely.
All right, so the next match we have coming up is Carlos Elberg versus Kennedy and Chukwa. that guy. So,
just let's go with KN.
Well, I'm gonna say his first name, so we're gonna go with Carlos is minus 237 favorite, and Kennedy is a plus 225 underdog. Carlos comes in as a striker, and Kennedy comes in as a striker as well. Carlos comes in with a 3-0 record, has not lost. Kennedy comes in with a 7-1, one loss by sub. Carlos last fought in the contender series against Bruno Orellera, and he knocked him out in the first round, which was pretty good. It was a minus 172 of that fight. Kennedy comes in. His last fight was against Darko Starsick, and he beat him by decision. And this was in 2019. So technically, Kennedy has not fought in a year, more than a year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm pretty confident in some ring rust and stuff like that. If you're not active, it's gonna take some toll on you when you get back in there. But my initial pick for this is gonna be Carlos. I think Carlos is gonna take him out. He has a bit of the better game, and I don't know. I just have that good feeling that he's gonna put it on him. What you think?
Yeah, I definitely see this. I mean, I don't know too much about Kennedy because we haven't seen him in a while, but Carlos, I mean, the guy's amazing, man. He's in phenomenal shape. He's with City Kickboxing. He's 5-0, man. This guy is just phenomenal, man. I mean, striking. Don't look for this to go to the ground for any reason. This I see this being done second round knockout for Carlos, easy.
All right, so stats for Kennedy. Kennedy, his last fight was his Darko. He threw 50 strikes, absorbed 60, and also Darko took him down 4 times. The fight before that was he fought Paul Craig. Kennedy landed 40, received 25 strikes, and was taken down 1 time. For Carlos' last fight was in a contender series. He only landed 10 strikes and absorbed 7, but that was a first round KO. So, like I said, you're right about Carlos. We don't know too much about him, but he looks pretty good at that match. We gotta go off to the next fight. The next fight is gonna be who's the next fight? Jordan Espesina. All right. Jordan Espesina against Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott comes in as a let's see. Let me pop this up. All right, so Espesina comes in as a 105 underdog, and Elliott comes in as a 101 favorite. So this match is pretty much even, it's a pick'em match as of right now. Espesona is a striker and a BJJ grappler, and Elliott is a striker. So Elliott is very gritty. He'll go at it. He'll do whatever he needs to do to get the fight won. Espesina comes in at a 15-8 record. He has 4 losses by sub. Tim Elliott, he comes with a 16-1, 1 by KO and 5 by sub. If Elliott comes to fight, Elliott's gonna come to fight. He's gonna take the match, but also Elliott goes head first and just gets caught in guillotines or whatever the case. If he's not smart, Jordan's gonna take him out. Jordan's last fight was against David Dorak, and he went to a decision with him, and this was in 2020. And then before that, he fought Mark De La Rosa in June 2020, and he won that decision. So he's been pretty active in 2020. Elliott has fought Ryan Barnett in July 2020. He won that by decision. And then for Brian Vorvel in May 2020, and he lost that by triangle. does those bonehead moves that he goes in, and that's why he lost that one by triangle. But what you think?
Well, I mean, both of them right now, they're sitting, they're two for their last five. This Espinosa's last fight was very boring with Dovrak. I mean, he really needs to. I mean, it's his time to shine, man. He's got to step it up. Tim Elliott, like you said, man, you got to watch out. He goes head first. If he sits back and works the jab, I mean, he might, have a good shot at again Espinosa. But striking wise, Espinosa is a lot. His output is more than Elliott's. But if he comes to fight and he's hungry enough, Espinosa, I could see him winning. But I'm leaning towards Elliott. I'm leaning towards Elliott to pull this out.
So Elliott's last fight, when he fought Ryan, Elliott landed 67 strikes, one takedown. He absorbed about 55 strikes with one takedown. The fight before that, because Brandon Borrell, he landed 17 and he took Brandon down 4 times, and he absorbed 16 strikes and one takedown from Brandon. Jordan Espinosa, his last fight was against David Vorak. He landed 50 strikes and absorbed 68. And against Jordan, the fight before that against Mark De La Rosa, Jordan landed 126 strikes, 2 takedowns, and absorbed 37. So he got a lot of input on his last fight, 50 strikes in his last fight. So, I don't know. I got a good feeling Tim's gonna take this. Tim is just a little bit crazy, man. He's gonna.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's the veteran. He's
Oh.
definitely the veteran. So,
Yep.
Look out for him to just bring it.
Yeah, he has the more ring time and stuff like that. So that plays a big factor in these matches.
Definitely.
Kai Kara France versus Rogero Turin. So Kai Kara France comes in at minus 128. Turin comes in at plus 122. Kara France is a striker. Turin is a BJJ grappler, so a striker gets a grappler. Kara France comes in at 21-9 record. Two losses by KO and 3 by sub. Turin comes in at 16-2, and he has lost he got 1 loss by sub. Kai Kara France, his last fight was against Brandon Royal, and he lost that match by guillotine choke. Prior to that match was Tyson Nam, and he beat Tyson Nam by a decision. Botarin, he fought Ray Borg, and he went to a decision with Ray Borg. And prior to that, he fought Roland Pavia, and that was stopped by a cut in the first round. But my initial pick for this, I'm gonna go with Kai Kara France. I think he's a little bit more. He strikes a little bit more. He's a little bit more agile, but he does tend to go head first to a lot of things, and he takes a lot of shots. And so if he's not smart, he can be taken out. But I think he has his match in the bag, so I'm gonna go with Kara France.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, he's got a tremendous takedown defense. He's definitely a striker. He's gonna have I like the way this kid fights. I'm definitely going with him.
So okay.
I definitely agree with you. France is he's gonna take this fight.
All right. So some stats on these two fighters. We have Turin. His last fight against Ray Borg, he landed 9 and took 35, and he got 10 takedowns from Ray Borg. Ray Borg took him down 10 times. So I don't know how his takedown defense is if he gets taken out 10 times. Prior to that, his fight against Rulin Pava, he landed 8 strikes and he took Roland down twice, and Roland only landed 3 shots. Kai France's last fight, he fought against Brandon Burrell. Kai France landed 22 and absorbed 39 in a loss, and against Tyson Nam, he landed 78 and absorbed 50 in a decision. But yeah, definitely Kai France is the person to pick.
He's the one.
Yep. For DraftKings, could be a good score for him. Yeah, I think you could choose this guy pretty much in cash, or just he'll have a high score, not as high as you think, but I think he'll pay off his price. Let's go with the veteran Joseph Benavidez against Askar Askarov. So Askar Askarov is a -23, and Benavidez is a plus 117. It's crazy to see Benavidez up here, and it's an underdog. He's well rounded. Both guys are well rounded. Benavidez got 28-7. He lost 2 by KO, 1 by sub, and Askarov has not lost a match yet. But you got to see Benavidez has been there with the who's of the sport. Title defensive. Davidson Figueiredo twice his last 2 matches. I know those matches were pretty bad for him because he got knocked down the first round in the last match, and the match before that he got KO'd. No, he got submitted in the first round of the last match, and then he got KO'd in the match before that. You know what I mean? And those were some brutal KOs. Askarov last match he fought against Alessandra Pantoja, which is pretty decent fighter. He won that by decision, and then he fought Tim Elliott before that. He won that decision. My initial pick for this is gonna be pretty hard, but I might go with Askarov because I don't know. I think Benavidez might be done. Right? I think he needs to give it up, or find a new path or something. But because his last 2 fights didn't look good. I don't know what's your take.
I definitely agree with you. The guy is done. Stick a fork in him. He is done. Askar, he's going to bring the pressure. And we all saw when Figueroa brought the pressure to Benavidez. So Askar is definitely going to bring the pressure to him. He's going to work the takedown. He's an awesome striker. So I mean, I trust me. I look for this to be over in the second round as well. Askar all the way. Benavidez, he's done. I won't be surprised that after this fight, maybe next week you'll hear from Dana that he's been cut.
Yeah, the only thing from that, I don't know about him being cut because Megan Olivia is his wife and she works as a commentator for UFC. So, maybe she's the one that's holding his job for him.
I doubt that, man. Listen, Dana's all about getting the pay-per-views and the money up. This is not. He's not cutting it no more. That's it. He's just done.
Oh, let's see. For me, I think he'll stay in the sport for another 2 fights, and I think Olivia has something to do with that. But that's just me. Me.
Mark my words. Next week, this time you'll hear Benavidez has been cut.
All right. So some stats on Benavidez. This last fight against Davidson, he only landed 18 and took 35. He was rear naked choked, and then the fight before that, he landed 46 and took 25 and got killed. So not too much of big stats, but Askar's last fight, he threw 41 with 2 takedowns, absorbed 32 with 1 takedown. Prior to that, against Tim Elliott, he landed 73 and took 47. The only thing that Tim Elliott took him down 3 times. But yeah, I'm still gonna go with Askar on this one.
Okay.
Next fight is Yang Dong Sung versus Kyle Phillips. So I know we spoke about this before. Song comes in at a minus 152. Phillips comes in at a plus 145. Both guys are strikers. Song comes in at a 16-4 record, won by KO, and Phillips comes in at an 8-1. He won one loss by decision. Song comes in his last match. He fought Marlon Vera, which is a very good fighter. And he took him to a decision and beat him. Prior to that, he had a draw with Cody Stamen, and Cody Stamen is pretty good. Kyle Phillips, his last fight was against Cameron Else, and he knocked him out in the second round with elbows. Prior to that, he fought Gabriel Silva and went to decision. I know me and you pretty much are up in the air in this. I don't know. Song has that power, and he's in good shape. I think I'm gonna go with Song with this one.
Oh yeah, I mean, Song is great. He's definitely great. 6-0 in the UFC. But Kyle Phillips, man, he hasn't lost in 3 years. This guy is like, he's amazing, man. He's just totally amazing, man. He's just got all weapons, man. Just left and right. I mean, just stand up, take down on the ground, man. This guy. Oh man, yeah. I mean, well, listen, at least 15 fights, Dana said this. I mean, look out for this to be the fight of the night. So I'm gonna go with Phillips with the upset.
All right, so some stats here. Phillips had his last fight against Cameron Else. He landed 32 with 2 takedowns and absorbed 11. Prior to that, when he fought Gabriel Silva, he landed 89 with 2 takedowns, absorbed 31, and took 2 takedowns. So not a bad record, but Song, his last fight against Marlon Vera, Song landed 101 strikes, but absorbed 92 and took two takedowns from Marlon Vera. Before that, he fought against Cody Stamen and he landed 30 and absorbed 41. But he was taken down 5 times by Cody Stamen. So that's that might play a little bit factor for Kyle. But I'm still gonna go with Song Dong, and it's gonna be a scrappy fight. It's gonna be a pretty good one. It could be fight of the night, so put your money on this one.
Definitely.
So the next fight is gonna be Dominic Cruz versus Casey Kenny. This is pretty interesting because you got Dominic Cruz at a plus 125 underdog against Casey Kenny at a minus 130. Pretty much the fight's pretty even. The odds are there. Cruz is well-rounded, blue belt and BJJ. Kenny's a grappler and a striker, is a black belt in judo. Cruz is 22-3, and one loss by KO, one loss by sub. Kenny is 16-2. His only 2 losses by decision. Cruz for the who's of the division. Last 4, he fought the champ, Triple C, Henry Cejudo, and was KO'd in the second round. He fought Cody Garbrandt before that, and Cody Garbrandt pretty much took the decision win off him. He has fought Uriah Faber, TJ Dillashaw. You could go down the list of the names he fought. True veteran right here. Casey Kenny's last fight was against Nathaniel Wood, went 3 rounds to a decision. After that, fought Hali Alatag and went through a decision as well. I don't know. I don't know how Dominic Cruz is, the underdog. But I'm going with Dominic Cruz. This guy's good, great, good boxer, well-rounded on the floor, on the feet. Well, I'm going with Cruz.
I agree with you. He's definitely going to come back from the last two losses with Cejudo and Garbrandt. And, the guy's a veteran, man. Plus he has that awkward approach. I don't think Casey Kenny's going to be able to handle that. He's going to have a hard time trying to figure Cruz out. Um, I agree with you. I'm going with the underdog, Cruz.
Yeah. So some stats here. Casey Kenny's last fight was Nathaniel Wood. Casey Kenny landed 123 strikes and had 2 takedowns. And Nathaniel Wood landed 136 strikes. So a lot of volume in that fight. The fight before that, Casey Kenny landed 109 strikes and absorbed 46. So that's a lot of volume in there too. So Dominic Cruz's last fight against Triple C, Cruz landed 33 and Cruz absorbed 53 in a loss. And against Cody Garbrandt, Cruz landed 88 and absorbed 68. Now Cody is a very hard puncher, and for him not to get KO by Cody, it's crazy. But look at this fight to have a lot of volume. Good at DraftKings. I think Dominic Cruz could be a staple in your DraftKings lineup. Get you good points. He could be a good cash play. So pick him pretty much. Definitely my cash plays. I'll have him, but my initial pick is gonna be Dominic Cruz.
I agree.
So now we're gonna head up to the main cards where you got Tago Santos against Alessandra Radic. This is gonna be interesting fight. You got Santos at a plus 152 and Radic at a minus 155. Radic comes as a striker. Santos comes as a striker and BJJ grappler. Santos comes in with a 21-8 record. 3 by KO losses and 3 by sub losses. Radic comes in at 13-2, with one loss by sub. Santos, his last 4, he fought Glover, Teixeira, and man, a lot of people lost a lot of money in that fight because a lot of people had Santos to be Glover, and Glover took him out with a rear naked choke, and then he fought Jon Jones. Jon Jones is the GOAT, so you already knew where that was going. Yeah. Alexander Radic last fight was against Anthony Smith. Personally, and this is just my opinion, I think Anthony Smith is done. And for Anthony Smith, for him to fight Anthony Smith and take him to a 3-round decision, I don't know. I think he could have knocked him out way before that. Then he fought Volkan Asdemir, and he went to decision for that. Honestly, my pick on this, and I'm going to go with the veteran, I'm going to go with Santos. I think Santos got to knock him out.
Ooh. I disagree. I totally disagree. Santos' last fight with Teixeira, man, he looked he couldn't get his kicks going. That's what put him out right after the Jones fight was his knees, man, the torn ACLs. He's pretty much fighting bone on bone right now. His knees are bad. I mean, I look for Radic to take this. Definitely take this. I'm definitely going, and don't get up your seat. Don't blink, because this could be over real quick. You got 2 guys here with knockout power, and but I'm going with Radic.
So some stats on Santos. Santos, his last fight against Glover, he landed 40 strikes, absorbed 46, and Glover took him down 4 times. Santos against Jones, Santos landed 43, and Jones hit him 59 times. And Jones had a 5-round fight. Tago's hand, was there 5 rounds with Jones, so that got to be something. Radic, his last fight was against Anthony Smith. Radic landed 44 and Anthony Smith landed 9. You know, that's, I don't know. And then his last fight, Volkan Azmir, Radic landed 75 with 1 takedown and absorbed 63. But I don't know. I just think Santos is gonna come back hungry. He knows he has those 2 losses, and I think he's gonna try to KO this guy. Santos got a lot of power, but I'm gonna go with Santos.
All right.
The next fight is gonna be Ismail Makhachev against Drew Dober. This comes in, Makhachev comes in at a -360 and Dober comes in at a +350. Both guys, Makhachev is a sambo and Dober is a striker. Makhachev comes in at 18-1, 1 loss by KO. Dober comes in at 23-9. He has 9 losses, 1 by KO, 3 by subs. Islam comes in against Davy Ramos. Last time it went to decision. Went to 3 rounds. After that, he fought Arman Tasharakian and went to decision as well. Drew Dover for Alex Hernandez, and he KO'd him in the 2nd round. And then prior from that, he fought Nasrak, and he KO'd him in the 1st round. So it's a pretty interesting fight. I don't know. I don't really want to pick Drew. I think Islam is gonna take this match.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with you. Islam is amazing, man. He's got a great ground game, man. He's a good striker. Just look for Islam to take it, take it to the next level on Drew. Drew's a great striker. Don't get me wrong. He's got a good left hand, but Islam is he's on a different level. He is definitely on a different level. I'm going with Islam.
And so Islam's last fight, he fought Davy Ramos. He landed 43 strikes and absorbed 7. The fight prior to that, he landed 14 and absorbed 3. Islam had 4 takedowns and absorbed 1 takedown. For Drew Dober, his last fight, he had Alexander Hernandez. He threw 61 and absorbed 34, but Hernandez took him down 3 times. The prior to that, he had 13 strikes and he absorbed 7. So yeah, Islam, I'm definitely gonna have all my bets on him. All right, let's move on to the next match. The next match is gonna be part of the 3 championship rounds, and I know we have talked about this whole week. Peter Yan against Aljamain Sterling. This is gonna be a very good fight. Very good fight. Peter Yan comes in at a -117 favorite, where Sterling comes in at a +108 underdog, pretty much even, almost a pick'em fight. Yan comes as a striker. Sterling is a striker and a wrestler. They both have blue BJJ belts. Yan is 15-1. Is 1 loss by decision, and Sterling is at 19-3. Sterling has been KO'd once. Yan has fought Jose Aldo, Uriah Faber, Jimmy Rivera. His last fight was against Aldo, and he beat him. He beat him to the Pope. KO by punches in the 5th round, and Uriah Faber, he KO'd him with a head kick in the 3rd round. Sterling, Aljamain, his last fight was against Cody Sandhagen, which he beat him. And Cody Sandhagen is a very good fighter. He took him out with a rear naked choke. And after that, he fought Pedro Munoz, which pretty much nobody knocks out Pedro Munoz, but they won all 3 rounds. I don't know. The champ is a champ, and he's a champ for a reason. Sterling can take this. Don't count him out. But I don't know. It's gonna be a hard fight, but I'm gonna lean with the champ, and I'm not 100%. I'm 75% the champ's gonna take it. I'll give Sterling at least 25% that he can get an upset.
Well, here's something you're going to hear tomorrow night. And new Aljamain Sterling. Listen, let me tell you something. That guy, he uses the whole ring, dude. He uses the whole ring. He's very crafty. Loves the rear naked choke. Jan, you know, like you said, he's the champ for a reason. Yes, he is. But I mean, his time to shine ain't gonna be tomorrow night. Aljamain Sterling all the way, man. That guy's amazing, man. And new, that's what it's gonna be like.
All right. So some stats from Peter Yan. His last fight against Jose Aldo, he landed 194 strikes and 1 takedown and absorbed 83. Against Uriah Faber, he landed 54 strikes with 2 takedowns and only absorbed 18. Aljamain Sterling, his last fight against Corey Sandhagen, he landed 2 strikes and took 1 strike, and they ended up in a rear naked choke. But against Pedro Munoz, which, you know, Pedro Munoz is a scrapper, they both went at it. Sterling landed 174. It took 105. For DraftKings, this is a fight that I think you gotta have in your lineups because it's gonna be a lot of volume. So add whoever is your favorite fighter between these 2 fights, add up to your DraftKings lineup because you're gonna need this. You're gonna need this. But I'm gonna go with the champ, and there ain't gonna be no new nothing.
We'll see.
We'll
see. Stay tuned.
So the co-main event is gonna be Amanda Nunez against Megan Anderson. Amanda Nunez comes in at the highest favorite in the whole card as a minus. Well, I don't know. I gotta check how Izzy is, but she's a minus 660 favorite against Megan, a plus 758 underdog. They have Nunez as a striker, BJJ grappler, and Megan as a striker. But Megan has some ground game as well, so you can't count her out in the ground game. Plus, she is long, very long. Those long limbs can do a lot of damage. Nunez is a 20-4. She has 2 KO losses and 1 sub. Megan is 11-4. She has no KOs, but 2 by subs. Nunez' last fight was against Felicia Spencer. Felicia took it to her, made her last all 5 rounds. And then before that, she fought Jermaine Durandamy, took her all 5 rounds. Megan Anderson's last fight was against Norma Dumas, KO'd her in the first round. And then prior to that, she fought Zara from Dos Santos and submitted her in the first round. So this fight is going to be interesting because I have some takes about this. Amanda Nunez's last 2 fights, she struggled. She struggled in her last 2 fights. You know, Felicia Spencer took her to the end in the decision. Jermaine took her to the end of the decision. You know what I mean? Amanda was a kind of person that she won't go 2 rounds. She won't go 3 rounds. You know, she'll knock you out first or second round. She knocked out Cyborg. I think it was I'm not sure if it was the second or third round. But you know, she's a very hard hitter, and that's what she does. Well, she knocked out in the first round to Santos, and then she knocked out Holly Holmes in the first round. Megan is very, very crafty. She's beat Felicia Spencer with a rear naked choke. She's beat Holly Holmes. The only concern about Amanda is, you know, she just became a mother, and she has a brand new baby, and, you know, motherhood and stuff like that, and, you know, that might take a toll. You want to be with your child, especially as a newborn. Not saying that she is not training, because I know she takes it serious. You know, she is the GOAT, you know, of women's MMA, hands down. But what I seen on the scale, I didn't see the Amanda Nunez that I've seen before. You know, I see her a little bit heavier, not in shape as good. Megan looked phenomenal. She looked great. Slim, slender, serious. She's been training hard. She plays video games too, but that's on the side. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I can't go against the GOAT. I think Amanda's gonna take it, but I don't know. I have that knot in my stomach that you might hear new champion in this, but that knot is very small.
But listen, I mean, we all know Amanda struggles with bigger girls. I mean, the Ronda me, she was in the same height as pretty much as Megan. I mean, two big women. Um, you know, it's just is difficult because Amanda has a hard time with the reach. She plus I mean, yeah, Amanda, what happened to her six pack, man? She's looking kind of soft in the midsection. I mean, she may weight, but it's not the Amanda that I've seen before. Megan has that one punch power. I mean, oh man, minus 1,000. I definitely wouldn't put this in. I wouldn't add this in my parlay. Obviously, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't touch this bet, but if anything, I would put a little something on the underdog, Megan, just because Amanda has a hard time with the bigger girls. It just has a hard time.
Yeah, definitely true. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not seeing the Amanda that was there before. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But can't count Amanda out. She's good. Nope. But there is that chance, and
I just hate that. It's just going to look like it's going to go to decision. I don't. Unless Megan gets a couple of shots off early in the fight. She's able to get Amanda down, but I just see another decision.
Yep. So I'll stay with Amanda on this one.
Yeah, I'll stay with Amanda, but it's going to be decision.
Yep. All right. So our main event, Jon Blachowicz against Israel Adesanya. This is going to be very interesting. So Israel is going up in weight to fight Jan. Jan is a plus 213 underdog, with Izzy being a minus 210. Everybody knows these two fighters. They both guys are strikers. Jan has a brown belt in BJJ. Jan is a 27-8 record with 2 losses by KO, 1 by sub. Izzy is 20-0, has not lost. That's why he's the champ. I'm not even gonna look at their pretty much the stats because we know both guys. At the end of the day, Izzy is Izzy, and he's awesome. He's very well-rounded. He's very precise. I think he's gonna pretty much use a ring as much as he can and pick Jan out. Pick him apart from the outside pretty much. But Jan has power. Jan is big. You know what I mean? Jan could take him out. And for me, this match, Izzy's going up to fight Jan for his belt. At the end of the day, they should have put both belts up. Why not? Yeah. Why does Jan got to give up a belt and not Izzy? Not that it shouldn't be like that. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with Izzy. I think he's gonna probably pick him apart.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, Jon has that Polish power. I mean, he looked great in the weigh-ins today. So did Izzy with his pizza. But Jon is going to be he's going to do what Pablo Costa didn't do to Izzy. He's going to bring the fight to him. He's going to come after him. He's going to pressure him. And that, Izzy's, like you said, is going to be Izzy. He's going to work the outside, pick him apart, try to, and try to take him out. Um, but if Jon is able to get some punches off, in the early rounds, he has one punch knockout power, man. The guy's amazing. He's just, but like you said, and I totally agree with you, Izzy's gonna pick him apart from the outside and just take him out. This is don't leave your seat. Make sure you have your snacks ready, especially pizza with some pepperoni. and
Oh.
and watch Izzy go to work.
So now I don't know if that pizza that Israel brought into the weigh-ins might be the one you got in the back there, but
Hey, let's get ready to have slices, man.
Yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting fight. I'd say everybody enjoy this card because as right now, 15 fights are live, and I hope and pray that nobody falls off. It's gonna be a great night of fights. Enjoy it to the fullest. This is beautiful. I wish every card is stacked like this. It's just for an MMA fan. This is like heaven.
Definitely, man. And listen, let me tell you something. Nobody's drinking wine tonight.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Hey, the funny thing about Izzy too. Well, speaking of Izzy, because they're working on a Jon Jones fight for him between him and Izzy in December. That given that Jon just finished putting like 30 pounds of muscle on. Well, not 30 pounds, but he's since he's going up to heavyweight to fight the winner of Nyangu and Stipe. But Jon Jones tweets out Jon Blachowicz win by knockout. That was amazing, man. It's just too funny, man. But yeah, definitely is going to be super exciting. There's a lot of really good fights on this card, man. It's going to be the best card of the year so far.
That's definitely true. So that wraps up for UFC 259. Thank you for listening, and be sure to drop a like and a comment below. You can find my core lineup and chat on the Fantasy Sports Insights Discord channel. You can find our Twitter handles at FSI_DFS. Let's enjoy a great night of fights, and let's make this money.
Let's make this money.
Like I said, do not miss this. This is going to be beautiful. So enjoy it.